Massive business and industry news around Defy Media.
Defy Media, Smosh's parent company, has announced that they are shutting down.
The owners of large YouTube channels like Smosh, Clevver, All Me, among others.
The parent company that owns Clevver unfortunately had to shut its doors yesterday afternoon.
Regretfully, Defy Media has ceased operations today.
Parent company of Clevver shuts down.
They have now announced that the entire company is shutting down.
No notice.
They owe a lot of people money.
None of the employees saw it coming.
All employees would be laid off.
Unfortunately, market conditions got in the way of us completing our mission.
Market conditions got in the way. What does that mean? That's all they have to say.
Doesn't the dog know I'm trying to spill the tea? Welcome to my channel. I actually filmed this intro already about 3 hours ago. It was all going to go on my new channel until I just found out that I got my old channel back. So this is on the Lil's channel, which I created like 2 years ago, and I'll explain more details later, but I didn't think I was ever gonna really get the full ownership back, and I did, so now, welcome. I don't think I could even explain how many tweets and comments and stuff I've gotten since everyone has kind of like posted that Clevver has kind of temporarily, we hope, and like are very optimistic about that it's a temporary end. People are still a little confused though. So I reached out to you guys and asked what specific questions you would like answered, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. Everything I say in this is 100% from my perspective. I have not been an official employee of Defy Media since last Wednesday. Honestly, I'll tell you right now, I don't know the answer to a lot of them. So we'll go through and I'll answer what I can, and I think a lot of people don't really understand what a parent company is, and they don't understand what Defy is because they only know what Clevver is. It's all a little confusing. I'm gonna basically take you through the timeline of how I was introduced to all this information and like just how it all happened and what my timeline was like leaving. My talent contract was up in August, which was a very, very exclusive talent contract, which kind of prevented me from pursuing certain opportunities, which was fine because I was very all in on Clevver, but that was a 2-year agreement. So it finally came to an end in August, and I definitely cried during this meeting because not only do I hate confrontation, but I just like get really emotional. And you know, when you like, once it kind of starts, it's like if you let one tear out, they're all gonna come, and then it's just, there's no going back. And I just told them, I was like, Clevver has literally been my life. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I started as an intern 6.5 years ago, got hired after 3 months. I got promoted quickly to producer and started producing shows, which then I accidentally kind of started being in. Once I was in them consistently, they wanted me to sign a talent contract, and I'm like not someone that ever wanted to be on air or tried to be on air, so I was like, you'll give me more money for being on camera? Yes, I'll sign whatever you want. It was a pretty exclusive agreement. We get to have so much fun with our friends, so I'm not complaining. But there were definitely things that down the line I didn't realize I would want to do, or I didn't realize were so off limits. 2 years ago, probably 2.5 years ago, they really encouraged me to launch a YouTube channel that was like a personal one because my following had taken off more than any of us had expected. Still very confused about it. I don't even know who really encouraged, but it was like, yeah, you should start a personal channel. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun, okay. I kind of went into it knowing I already had a contract, so I wasn't gonna get any more money. It's not like suddenly I was gonna get the checks for it. And I knew that this exclusive contract made it that anything I made or came up with or created it all while I was part of Defy belongs to them. Which, like, that's the case in most media companies. It's not like you can be like, I created that show, I'm taking it with me. But like, kind of sucks when it's your YouTube channel that's called the Lil's channel, and like there's literally only videos of you on it that you filmed and edited yourself, and you've never made any money off of it, and then it just sat there. Because if I kept making content, which I wanted to, and everyone kept asking me to, everyone kept like, oh, why hasn't she uploaded? Why hasn't she uploaded? Shane helped her launch a YouTube channel and then she abandoned it. Guys, do you think that I wouldn't have been uploading all the time if I could have? I mean, I guess technically I could have, but I would have been making Defy a bunch of money, not receiving any of it, and then also building them a library of content that I don't own, so as soon as I leave the company eventually, they keep it. So then they just have a bunch of stuff with my face on it that they can use and do whatever they want with. So that didn't seem like a smart move to start building up that YouTube channel, so I was like, okay, well. Cut to negotiating my contract to leave. I told them that I was going to leave to pursue my personal channel, regardless of whether they return the Lil's channel to me or not. I was like, I'll start a new one, but I don't know why you won't give it back because you literally have no use for it and it's just been sitting there for 2 years. I was like, I'm gonna peace out, but this place is my home. I'm not gonna leave completely. We negotiated this contract for the last 3 months, you guys. It was not only that I was gonna get the Lil's channel back, but then I was gonna join the Defy Creator Network, which we will get to that later. And then I was going to sign a freelance agreement that guaranteed me a certain amount of days over the next year. Honestly, to you guys, you probably wouldn't have even noticed that I wasn't there all the time anymore, but it's that like I wasn't gonna be sitting there at my desk 9 to 5, 5 days a week. My plan was I'll leave and pursue my personal channel, and then I'll also get to be in Clevver with all my friends, and then maybe some of them could be in some of my stuff and we can all collab and it would just be this great, happy experience. Well, things took a turn. Wednesday was in the contract my last day, Halloween. I signed my resignation. I cleaned out my office. I cried. It was super sad. Jill followed me around with tissues. But like, you guys, I literally was booked already to come back in the next Wednesday to film a beauty trip in, and then the next week to film something else. So my last day is Wednesday. My lawyer sends me a final version of the contracts for me to sign. Signed on the dotted line, sent it through. My lawyer sends through those contracts Friday morning. Guess what else we find out Friday afternoon?
Defy's main office in Beverly Hills, they received an email that same day notifying them that the office would be shutting its doors down by January 2nd and that all 80 employees would be laid off as a result.
Yeah. When I read that it was the Beverly Hills office closing down, I was like, literally, the Beverly Hills office is that's where all the people are. We have a New York office and a San Francisco one. No cameras there. No one makes anything in those offices. Those are like salespeople and like the CEO of the company. Our office is where all the studios are. That's where Smosh films. That's where we film. That's where everyone films. That's where all of us work out of. And it's like, oh, just that office is closing down. That's everything. I don't know if you guys realize how many other people work for Defy Media. I'll be fine. I was planning on leaving, so it's like, yeah, maybe if something gets messed up with what I was gonna make through Clevver, that kind of sucks, but like, I'll figure it out. It's not just like us and Jill and Bridget and some of the people you see on camera. There's so many off camera that you don't see. They just get a notice where it's like, hey, PS, you're laid off and you have like a month left of work. And again, I was not in the office anymore. I'm at home, like in my pajamas, like hanging out, like, what do I do? I'm unemployed. This is so fun. I was planning on taking a break for a month. Not anymore. Obviously, I'm talking to some of my friends. I'm like, oh my God, is everyone okay? And no, everyone's freaking out. Some people are crying. People are like, I don't know, what am I gonna do? I lost my job. So that was Friday. Tuesday rolls around. And then this comes out.
Regretfully, Defy Media has ceased operations today. We are extremely proud of what we accomplished here at Defy, and in particular want to thank all the employees who worked here.
You don't tell people that they already screwed them over by telling them they have a month left, and then it's like they're just done. 3 days later, that suddenly it's like Defy ceased operations today. I didn't even know that could happen. Literally, like me finding that out and reading the Variety articles and like seeing it on Hollywood Reporter, it was the most surreal experience ever, because then I also have people texting me going, you lost your job? What happened? Clever's dead? Like, what's going on? And people are texting me that because I had yet to announce that I had left because I was still finishing up my legal paperwork. Literally, just everyone just lost their job. I don't think they're getting severance. I think the bank controls everything. We don't really understand how that whole thing is working out. Just as you think, things couldn't get any worse. And we find out news the next day, or maybe even later that night. Not only are Clevver and Smosh like gravely affected to the point that they have shut down production and like can't do anything because everything's just frozen, but Defy was also an MCN, which stands for multi-channel network. So they have their owned and operated properties, which are Clevver and Smosh and Warp Zone and Ami, and it used to be Screen Junkies. They sold off, that's another story. Then they have their network partners where it's a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of people you know. Rylan Adams is in it, Matt Pat's in it, Adeline Marin's in it. Literally huge people. And the way MCNs work is that YouTube pays the MCNs, but then the MCNs distribute it to the creators because they have like a pre-negotiated deal, which was one of the deals that I was attempting to negotiate. Come to find a lot of these creators haven't been paid in a month or two.
Defy owes me about $40,000 to $60,000 in outstanding payments.
This month, I was never paid. A bank took Defy's money, which so happens to be mine, that I may never see.
That money that I have accrued over the past couple months of making videos has gone somewhere.
I imagine being a YouTube network that steals all their creators' hard-earned money and then files for bankruptcy and uses the creators' money to pay their debt.
And I swear to God, if it has gone to the CEOs of this company paying off their debt, that's just not right. That's criminal.
If everything's shut down, all the money goes to Defy, but if Defy doesn't exist, how does that happen? I'm not laughing, it's just like I'm uncomfortable, and it's just like such a it doesn't feel real. To recap, we have a parent company that somehow had such bad money issues that they went from functioning totally fine a few months ago to suddenly like having no money, to the point that they literally shut down. And I'm sure people watching are like, how do you just stop doing stuff on successful brands? It's because Defy owns them, and if Defy has money issues, it's all just a huge vicious cycle. Long story short, channels like Clevver and Smosh Games are currently just like frozen. I think we uploaded on Clevver our last video today that was already edited, and it was because it was a branded one, and they wanted to put it up for the brand. But we have a few beauty breaks that are canned. I don't think that nothing's gonna be uploaded. We're definitely not filming anything else. No, there's not really any employees left at the company. There's like a few people still on, I think, while they try and sell it. That is what I was also going to add, so don't worry. There is hope. As I said earlier, it's very successful brands that Defy owns. There's no reason that there aren't companies that would want to buy Clevver and Smosh. That's the hope right now, is that there's some company out there, or some investor, or someone that is just going to be like, oh my God, those are some valuable brands and they are going to waste just sitting there. Let's save them and bring them back to life. Fingers crossed that's gonna happen. If it does, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't still be appearing in a bunch of the Clevver content. So hopefully it's not the end of Clevver, you guys. A lot of people wanted to know, I think also because it was very coincidental timing to when I was leaving, which I swear was just a coincidence. I would have left way sooner if I knew that was gonna happen. Kidding, kind of, not really. While I didn't think things were like the best ever, like I didn't think we were totally killing it, this was so far from the realm of possibilities. There's no world where I thought that suddenly it was gonna be like, sorry, the company shut down, the brands are on pause. Like, no, no, I had no idea that this was coming. It's insane. Specifically, a lot of people are like, well, why can't you just like keep doing beauty breaks? Just do it in your living room or something. That's all intellectual property of Defy Media. While Defy almost kind of doesn't exist anymore, it still is like, if someone buys Clevver, they own Beauty Break. So we can't just like suddenly have Beauty Break and pretend like nothing happened. If no one ever bought Clevver, potentially that's a different story. Then again, I'm not a lawyer, so I have no idea. I'd also like to throw out, if we really think about it, someone asked about Cheat Day too. Both of those shows share a table that is from IKEA. And so it's like not much of a format, just like trying stuff. So let's just say in any world, I don't think Beauty Break, I don't think the style and show vibe kind of, I don't think that type of show is ever gonna not exist. Well, I mean, I hope I'm not doing this when I'm like 80, but like, you know what I mean. First of all, 6.5 years is a long time to be at a job, especially when you start as an intern. Honestly, at the end of the day, it came down to being full-time and exclusive at Clevver. It felt like such an all or nothing thing. Like it didn't feel like I could do that and still try and pursue anything on the side, because I didn't feel like I would be able to give that my full focus, and then I wouldn't be giving Clevver my full focus. Neither of them were getting the best me, and then also I'm just fucking tired and like so burned out on everything. I have 3 herniated discs in my neck. That's a whole nother story. But it's just been like a rough year. And I know on Instagram it's always posting just like us having fun, and it's always just smiling and goofing around. And like honestly, most of the time that is pretty accurate, but like I spent a lot of time alone in my apartment doing pretty much nothing, because I'm so just like drained from just being on all the time. I think in the beginning it was all just so new and exciting. It was just like Beauty Break, and it was like one show that I focused on, and then all of a sudden there was Cheat Day, and then all of a sudden there was Beauty Trippin', and then there was Debatable, and then there was just like so many shows, and then it would be like, yes, now you're traveling to another country, which was amazing. And now I've gotten to go to like Vancouver and London and Italy. Everything grew so fast and we just did so much in such a short period of time. And I feel like there was just so much pressure on us. It was hard to say no to stuff. You're gonna shoot all day, and then you're gonna have a meet and greet, and then you're gonna travel to another country, and then you're gonna come back, and then PS, did you edit all of those episodes? And then I end up working 20-hour days, and then I'm just like not sleeping, and I needed a break, and I plan on taking one, but obviously that changed. Everyone I work with is a trooper. Everyone has pulled through what they like shouldn't have. When they should have been like, nope, too far, I need to go home, they went anyway. We definitely don't always show that side, but it definitely exists, and it definitely was a factor in my decision. When you work on a salary, when you really like your job, when you work with all of your friends, and it's like fun and like get to go like travel, it's impossible to have any kind of boundaries. All I do is work. But then like I like working, so it feels like it's not that bad. But then all of a sudden I realized that like literally like months have gone by, and I'm like, oh my God, that's why I'm single, because I don't even have time to date. When I do have time, I'm so tired that I get home and I'm just like, but anyway, long story short, I loved it there. It was just, it's a huge commitment, and it's 6.5 years is a lot. I found a way that I could still be a part of it and take some time for me, and it just felt like the perfect scenario that then very quickly fell apart. Do you think we're gonna get rid of each other that easily? I don't know if you guys realize how much time we all spend together. Like Jocelyn literally is like, what's closer than a sister? But yeah, no, I think everyone's planning on doing stuff together. Everyone, that's why Clevver has always been so great, is it's had such a family and we all do get along so well. It sucks that something that we had no control over was able to just like F up so many people's lives out of nowhere. Honestly, I really don't see that happening. I see in some form Clevver continuing it on. I don't know. I feel like it's too early to even speculate about that though, because like, let's be optimistic. And I think supposedly more news will continue to come out in the next few days, fingers crossed, and we'll all hope for the best. I feel like my plan has just been like taking a bunch of turns. It's very confused. Originally my plan was that I was gonna leave and then I was gonna take a little time off because I was gonna be coming in and doing freelance work, so I'd make some money, and I'd been saving for a while planning on leaving. After I took a little break, then I would launch the channel, and I would have the Lil's channel, so I'd already had a little bit of a following, and from the 2 years ago, thank you guys for not unsubscribing. Then all of this happened, so much for my break. Then I find out I'm not gonna have an income for the foreseeable future. If you see me do a lot of brand deals, you know why. Now I think the plan's pretty much the same, except I guess the Clevver appearances are temporarily on hold. I'm gonna focus on this channel and hopefully start with like 2 videos a week. I have at least 500 ideas literally written down because I was that bored one day. I've been unemployed for a week and I literally don't know what to do with myself. Also though, please leave comments below, because even though I have like thousands of ideas, I'm sure you guys have some great ones too. I think one thing about being at Clevver for so long and the kind of content we were doing is I didn't really show very much of a personal side. I would love to dive a little more into the personal stuff, not too much, because like, gotta draw a line somewhere. No, I'm just sad. I was gonna say, I wanted to, for Thanksgiving, I was gonna like show you around my hometown, but literally like this week has just been like one thing after another. There was a mass shooting in my hometown of Thousand Oaks, and now Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, all kind of the neighboring cities are all on fire, and literally my friends' houses are like burning down. So maybe won't be doing that video anymore, but I want to show you guys just like the Lily side of me that's not just living at Clevver and working constantly. So we also have been getting a lot of questions about whether we've personally had money withheld from us. I mean, technically the Lil's channel was monetized before I got a hold of it, and I never saw any of that money, but I was never guaranteed any of that money. Like, I knew that they were gonna take it, so they didn't really f me over. I f myself over. Otherwise, there's a few outstanding things that I definitely was expecting to get paid for, and I don't think I'm going to, and even if I did, I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Honestly, I can't even think about what I'm owed, because 1, the people that lost their jobs, but 2, all of these creators that are making all this content and trying to do their jobs and then just find out that they just aren't getting it. So I don't know how that's working. I know YouTube has released their channels from the MCN, so now they can make money, but I don't know what happens to all that money that they made in the meantime that is potentially frozen. It's kind of a lot. Everyone is trying to stay positive, and you guys have been literally the most supportive people ever. I'm very confident that everyone will continue to make content and put smiles on your face, and make sure you go follow everyone. I know Erin has a channel, Jocelyn has a channel, Drew has a channel. Go look for everyone. I'll link any of them I can find in the description below. I'm also gonna try and find a couple charities to link to for the Thousand Oaks shooting, for those families and victims, and then also for the fires, because I've been kind of avoiding the news, to be honest, because it's literally too close to home. I hope I answered all your questions. If not, leave them below and I'll try and answer them in the comments. But honestly, at the end of the day, I don't know a lot of answers. That was all just my perspective, but it's just sad to see so many people get affected. Anyway, bye. So honestly, it's like 2 in the morning and I've been editing this entire time. I realized that I kind of like didn't really wrap it up in a very good way. So I know you probably still have like a million questions, and guess what? As do I. Main ones being, why would they negotiate a contract for months with me when they hadn't been paying creators that had already negotiated a very similar agreement if they knew they couldn't deliver on anything? The second question, much more importantly, where did all of the money go? I'm not gonna get into details, but like there was a $70 million investment at one point. Screen Junkies just sold. There's a lot of things that it's just weird that it's like, where could it possibly have gone? And then especially if the creators aren't getting their money either. I don't even know if we're ever gonna get answers. So it just sucks. And then third and final question, just like, how do you not give people more of a heads up? Like how does that happen so fast? I knew that there was like probably not the best spending habits in some parts of the company, but like not to eat up that kind of cash. Like, it is ridiculous. That's it. Leave more questions below, I guess, but I probably won't have answers. So just add to the list. Okay, I know I said that last time and then I like didn't upload for 2.5 years, but I swear this time is different. I just don't want to commit to a schedule because like, what if I have a video for you on Thursday, but I don't upload till Saturdays? Like, do you really want me to wait till Saturday to upload it? What if I had a bonus video? I want it to be more flexible for you guys. I just don't like commitment, but I swear I'm gonna upload, don't worry.